So you mentioned your friends that you were in high school with.
Mm.
Did they also go on the same path as you, or was it just you?
Honestly, I don't know what they're doing right now. To be honest, like I know one youth that was always top of the class. I think he's doing graphic design, but not as an entrepreneur, more like working for somebody. Um, Anybody else, I don't know. Like, isn't it? Like, I don't know where they are or if they're still doing art. But if I could see them, I would encourage them to continue because they're really good artists. You get me? They give me a run for my money.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah.
So yeah, back when before I went to college, I also went and did something completely different, just
Hmm.
like you. But when I told my parents about it, they were like, what kind of job you can get with that? It's pretty much the same dilemma that most of us in Jamaica face because like we don't really know where like the world is expanding so quickly. Like and Jamaica is like a lot of people don't really see how far you can take your craft.
Exactly.
So how do you think being in Jamaica affected? Does it affect you at all?
Um, well, I feel like Jamaica is a perfect place for opportunity. Perfect because we have we don't have much. There are a lot of things that need to be expanded on. You get me? So I feel like this is the perfect market for new stuff. You get me? Like we have so much room to expand. It's not a lot of things aren't oversaturated. You get me? I feel like if you were to go abroad and try certain things, you legit like to start a business abroad is so much harder than starting a business down here. You get me? Because it abroad is so oversaturated with a lot of people doing the same thing. Competition is rough, isn't it? So Jamaica is the perfect place to start a business. You get me? Like it's just to usually they say, oh, you need to just hit the market hard. Isn't it? Just like legit flood it with content, isn't it?
Yeah.
And people will know you. People will tag you because at the same time Jamaica is so small. Isn't it? Once you grasp a certain amount of people, you're good. You get me? So.
Yeah, that's an interesting perspective because
Mm,
a lot of people they see it all the way around. It's like
hmm.
all opportunities everywhere else
True.
except Jamaica. That's how they see it. I mean,
The reason why they see it that way is because they have a different mindset. They're probably going to work for somebody and they see that, oh, if I want to do, let's say, journalism, right? They feel like going abroad and working for a big company, there's a better opportunity for that up there than down here. But if you want to start a business and get popular and for people to know you, Jamaica is the best place. You just have to put in the work.
so do you think you had any like really rough times with since you started doing this?
Yeah, like you have those moments. You get me? Like you have those rough times where you're just like, boy, struggling right now. You get me? But you always get out of it because just when you're about to struggle, like just when you can't manage, a client pops up. You get
Yeah.
me? Like just when you're not getting any work or you feel like, I eat that now, boy, I forgot it's a 9 to 5. A client pops up. You get me? Because you don't stop putting out content. Even if you're not getting clients, you still trying to market yourself. And once you do that, word of mouth, you've done our work for somebody before. Somebody comes say, oh hey, somebody told me I recommended you. You start doing that and then it starts building up from there. So it's always an up and down thing. But at the same time, it's just like I never worry about clients that much, in terms of like worrying about not getting work. I get work. It's just more of managing the jobs I have, managing my time. how much work I can fit into this time period, because you don't want to be spending too much time on a client work and you don't have time for others. You get me? You need to be able to finish the work fast enough so you can, you know, bring in more cash and bring in more clients. So that's the major issue. You get me? Just managing that.
So how you deal with clients who just always like want more?
Well, you charge them. Like if they want, like if they say they want this, and you're like, okay, cool, I give you a price based off of that. And let's say I show them a version, and they're like, okay, that's great, but then, because how I do it is that I show them steps. So I show them the process from the beginning. I show them the sketch. I show them, all right, this is the character or whatever I'm doing. And then I show them the color. And if they say, all right, but if I show them the final product and they want changes, I charge them a little fee to change those things based on how complex it is. You know?
Right, right.
hmm
So does that ever like impede on your other jobs?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, sometimes clients may take long to respond with a change. Like, I'll make a change and send it, and they may take a while to reply.
Yeah,
Um, Especially if it's a big project, like those big projects take up time. You get me? Like, but I wouldn't say they really impede on the other projects I do that much, but it does you having a waiting period where you're just like, okay, I'm waiting for them to kind of tell me the correction so I can get this done because I want to finish this thing.
yeah,
But if they're taking a while, I'll probably move on to a next thing while I wait. You get me? So
right.
mhm.
So do you think you're like what can you credit to your success so far, and do you think you're successful?
um I feel like I'm getting there. Is I mean, there's a lot of things I want to achieve that I haven't achieved yet. Like right now, I've just stepped onto the field. You get me? Like, we just start the league. We just a build up my rank. You get me?
Yeah,
So there's room for a lot of growth. I feel like I learned a lot from just my friends because some of my friends did entrepreneurship way before me, and I learned from their experiences. So that kind of helped me to make better decisions in terms of marketing myself as well as just you know um managing my time better. So I make sure that I put in certain steps in place, put in certain rules, or put in certain things. 'Cause, when it comes to clients, sometimes they don't want to pay you a deposit, and you're like, "Yo, I need a deposit before I start." And some people, you do the work, them do them, you give them the final product, them not pay you the full money, them a lay. So stuff like that, I legit avoid. You get me? I say, yo, 50% deposit. I'll send you the progress shots. You get your final product once proof of payment is made. You get me? And I make sure I show them the progress so they don't feel like they're giving money to somebody that's gonna scam them. You get
right.
me? Cause that's one fear that everybody has. Like, oh, I don't really know you. I haven't seen you in person or whatever. So, I'd want you to do the work first before I decide to pay. But I'm like you don't go KFC and tell them to give you the chicken first, before you pay. You pay first and then you get the food. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, so I try my best to have it, it's a balanced thing. You meet me halfway kind of thing. So what has aided to my, growth right now is probably just, yeah, as I said, just making the right decisions, always thinking of new ideas, because there can be points where you're just stumped. You're just like, boy, I don't have anything to post today. You get me? Like, I don't know what to do yet. You get me? How do I grasp my audience? How do I create something that will, get people to like this and get people to get a buzz on my page? But it's always a hit or miss sometimes. But is something that you just end up developing over time. You get me? You end up learning your audience and learning how to attract their attention better. So I think I've been doing well with that now. Is just to keep consistent.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
So, so why do you consider yourself an entrepreneur and not just a simple artist?
Because I think of the big picture, right? Um, I'm not in it just to do pieces for people. You get me? Like, I want to legit create a proper industry in Jamaica. Like, that is my goal. It's not just to be a sole independent artist. I want to work with artists. I want to, collab with artists and actually create Jamaican products, like Jamaican animated shows, Jamaican comics, all of those things. I want to be able to create for Jamaica and just build the industry. You get me?
Yeah,
That's my main goal. My main goal isn't just to, sell pieces. That's my main thing, is to create stories, create things that people will say, oh, Jamaica have like a yeah, Jamaican Marvel in some sense. You
yeah,
get me? That is that everybody sees and it's like, wow, all these IPs, all these characters. But at the same time, I can't do that by myself. So that is something where I would legit have to be thinking on a broader scale, like bringing other people in. And I feel like that is something that requires management, that requires a certain set of skills when it comes to organizing and just a different mindset altogether. You get me? So,
yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
mm,
I think I remember seeing some things like that before, but
mm.
it just failed after. Like I didn't see it after a while. I don't remember if I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Like what? Some animations?
Yeah, like I've seen people in Jamaica start animations, whether it's online. I've seen someone like TVJ or CVM,
Mm.
stuff like that. So, like, why do you think those faded away?
I feel like one of the main problems with those things is that they're stuck to TV. You get me? Like, I feel like those things need to be marketed better. You get me? Like, they need to be something that can go across the board, like Instagram, YouTube. That needs to be popular on YouTube, stuff like that. That can grasp not just a Jamaican audience, but like a foreign audience. You get
Yeah,
me? And it has to be done in bulk as well as just consistently. You just have to continue doing it. Like, if it stops, I don't know if it's because of funding or because, stuff like that, why it's not working. But I think it just takes somebody with a drive, somebody that is really interested in pushing that market for it to work. I don't know how passionate those people are with pushing Jamaican animation, like creating a series that will last a lifetime, creating characters that will last a lifetime. You get me? And creating multiple stories that will go, that will just be popular throughout. So I don't know. You get me? I don't know why those didn't work, but I feel
yeah,
like we just need more people that are passionate about it and are willing to create multiple different stories that aren't just about the regular day-to-day Jamaican happenings. You get me? You delve more into like the fantasy. You delve into stuff that people aren't used to. You get me? That's
yeah,
what people. That's what people somewhat get interested in when it comes to animated shows, like pre-anime, pre all of those things. None of it is relatable. You hear me? Like, none of it is something you can relate to. This is about ninjas and a different culture altogether, but people love it. You get me? So it's just to find a good mixture of fantasy and, drops of things that people can somewhat relate to, like with the culture. So,
yeah.
mhm,
Yeah, this is
yeah,
definitely a conversation that needs to be, get out there. And
yeah. Cause
um, yeah,
continue.
yeah, I was just saying, like, yeah, people need to hear these kind of things more. There's other people that just they want to do the same thing, but they just don't know how. They don't see it, all that stuff. But
Yeah, but I feel like, sorry to cut you. I feel like they're not, the reason why they run away from it because they're not seeing the growth right away, and I feel like it's something that's gonna have to be built over time. And as I say, consistency is just key. Like continuously doing it, and I feel like just the country like needs to see it as something of value and legit. It needs more support. You get me? It needs more support from the bigger heads. You get me? And I feel like it doesn't get the support because not a lot of people are doing it. And I don't know, like I feel like people have a bigger abroad before them bigger yard. I feel like if some Jamaican animation was big abroad, you would have seen how fast government say, yeah man, we need to fund this, man. We need to, this is a big thing up there, man. Just like with X Factor and all of that, where Dalton is big abroad and whatever. Everybody makes a big deal about it. You get me? I feel like that's probably the only way people going to see it as something big. You get me? Once it's shown on foreign TV, something of importance. You get me?
Yeah, I realize that's the trend.
Yeah, that's the problem. You get me? So that's why I say I'm not gonna just target Jamaicans. I'm gonna try to target people abroad as well through the internet. You get me? Because a lot of countries, a lot of people rate the Jamaican culture. You get me? And I want to be able to show them it in different mediums, animation, comics, all of that stuff. You get me? We just need more abundance of it. You know?
We have been given the scientific knowledge, the technical ability, and the materials to pursue the exploration of the universe. To ignore these great resources would be a corruption of a God-given ability.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.